Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is a bit of a different one. I am having trouble keeping up again. I keep wounding my fingers and I don't want to put them on camera because I think they look gross. And if I find them gross, you'll probably find them gross as well, so I see no reason to do that. So, chatty video today. I was actually going to save this for 500 subscribers, which I think I was going to hit in not too long, but here we are. In the spirit of, I don't know what I'm doing, nothing is planned, here we are. I think this is a bit of an illusion that might go on with more channels than mine. I know some people are very organized because they have to be, because they're trying to meet various deadlines, but that is definitely not the ethos of this channel. So I thought what we would do today is discuss my embarrassing YouTuber admissions, because I guess I'm a YouTuber, and here we are. There's going to be nothing too severe in this video. I only have tea on myself, and I still have at least the discernment to be selective about what I say. So there is at least that. Now, the other thing about this is that I have not really planned this video very well. As I said, I am trying to fill in a gap while I try to get more footage because I've just been unable to get footage because my skin looks terrible. So I actually don't know what I'm putting in the background of this video because I am recording the voice first and I will have to match it to images later. So I don't know if you're looking at animals or random nail polishing footage. Hopefully I have figured out what I wanted to do with various parts of this. So, admission 1. I originally intended for my full hand shots to include the polish bottle so that you could see the bottom of the label, or at least the label on the side. Now you'll notice that's not in any of my videos. I wonder why. Actually, I don't wonder why at all. One of the few times I tried to pose elegantly with the bottle, I realized I was going to constantly run into the same problem, and that is that I have absolutely tiny hands. I am not a large person, I'm only about 5 feet tall, and so you can imagine that my hands are about the size of a child's. I wish I was joking, I am not. So when I tried to show the polish on my nails while holding the polish bottle, I could not get my fingers to wrap around the bottle far enough. So basically what you would have seen was the bottle and the tips of my fingers. And by tips of my fingers, I do not mean the tips of my nails. I mean just the little pink dots that are my fingertips. I would just like you to imagine yourself trying to pose elegantly with a glass ketchup bottle in one hand. That was basically what I looked like. So as you can imagine, I had to ditch that idea. It was not going to work. There is a part of me that wonders what Hillary and I would look like side by side. It might look extremely hilarious. So this is why you've ended up with the bottle shots at the beginning of my videos and why they are like that. This was my solution to the problem I thought I was trying to get around. Second admission, I actually wanted to learn to play the ukulele. Yeah, I know. Seems weird, but again, small person, ukulele might fit. But then I made a YouTube channel, and now if I take it up, I feel like all I'm doing is practicing for my inevitable shitty apology video for some horrendous fucking thing I did. Maybe if I never learn the ukulele, I'll never have to do the awful thing or the apology? I don't know. That's how causation works, right? I do wish I was joking. I really did want to learn the ukulele. I may still do that, but there is a part of me with a nagging feeling in the back of my head. For the next one, guys, this is a bit of a roller coaster of betrayal. Just ride it with me for a minute. I will explain, I promise. I have a bottle of Fall Farmhouse that I do not want, but I have never offered it to Stephanie of Polished Yogi, even though I know she wants one. Now, before you feel too angry, I feel like I have a good reason. It smells really, really bad. Really, really awful. Something has happened to its formula. It paints onto the nail just fine, but its smell is just, ugh. I still have the bottle because I didn't feel like I could give it to someone else in good conscience, even if I warned them about the smell. The gross smell lasts for more than 24 hours after you apply it. Top coat does not mellow that smell at all. To describe the smell, it makes my hand smell how I assume a tire fire smells. I've never smelt one, but that's what it would smell like in my imagination. Now, if knowing all this she still wanted it, I would give it to her, but I cannot stress enough exactly how bad this thing smells. I don't know what happened to it exactly. It does have flakes in it, and it makes me wonder if the flakes have broken down within the suspension base, but I just don't know. It doesn't look any different to me. But I do have other polishes that have developed an unpleasant smell, and all of them have metallic multi-chrome flakes. The ones that move sort of from a reddish to an orange to a gold, and sometimes into a green. Hopefully I can be forgiven for not mentioning that I had this polish. The next embarrassing admission, oh boy, this one I actually do feel sort of ashamed of. I still think I have never properly learned my editing software. I never do any kind of fun transition or funny GIFs or anything like that. I feel like I should make a few and then keep them in a file specifically to use for copying and pasting, but I've just never taken the time or effort to do it. Nothing but jump cuts and smash cuts for me. Maybe that helps to contribute to like an amateurish charm for my videos, I don't know. Maybe someday I will find that time to do that, but now is not that time. I did just figure out how to get a marker to stick to a clip in my video rather than at an exact time point, i.e. the difference between, say, something being stuck at, 11 minutes and 51 seconds in the entire video versus sticking that little marker on, 1 minute 30 seconds into a specific clip. I was proud of myself for learning that finally, but a little ashamed that I did not know more. Now this one might just be a me thing, and probably it is, I don't know, but I'll see what you say to me in the comments. Maybe you have feelings. I feel like I struggle with tone in my videos. I think I did well with tone in, actually funny enough, the Harry Potter and the How I Deal with Art videos. I feel like I struck the tone I wanted, and I felt like it was an appropriate tone, but I struggle in my normal videos with that. I find that I want to praise a polish, but then I'm worried I'm getting too over-enthusiastic, that I'm talking in terms that are just too glowing. But of course I'm excited for the polish. I picked it out specifically, and I only did so because I liked it. So is it surprising it showed up and I liked it? Not really. Now, we've all been in that place where a polish showed up and it sort of wasn't what we thought it was, and we're maybe not as enthused or something like that. But pretty often things show up and they're exactly what they look like in the various PR, and I'm extremely happy with them. I don't currently receive any PR. I'm not sure I would want to. I just don't think it's that kind of channel, but So I don't have any pressure to have any specific opinion about a polish. I suppose if I was really vitriolic, someone might try to ban me from having their polish on my channel. But I've just never honestly run into any indie polishes that I've purchased that infuriated me or I thought was sold to me under false pretenses. We will get to mainstream polishes in a moment. I think maybe that's why in my best of the year, sometimes the polishes didn't seem like they would get on the list from my videos, because I failed to sort of get that tone right. But also sometimes I ruminate on a polish after I've worn it. So even though the video may seem lukewarm or just fine, I'm really loving it after the fact, and I've just kept thinking about it. So I really feel like I need to try to figure out how to talk about a polish without projecting enthusiasm I don't feel, or, and this I think is the bigger one for me, failing to show excitement I do actually feel. So I feel like I'm not quite there. Okay, speaking of mainstreams, I hate Orly. I did hate them before the Harry Potter debacle. It did not help. Also, let's have a long tangent here, because I love a tangent. I also found out they are remaking Harry Potter. Why? Why? I guess JK just isn't interested in writing any new books or scripts. I don't want to guess. I did not make my video about my approach to art or the house colors because of the new properties. I had no idea those were being cast or in production. I saw something about an actor I recognized, and it suggested he was in Harry Potter. I think it might have been Nick Frost, but I couldn't remember him being in the movies. My first thought was maybe he had appeared in the 2 Fantastic Beasts movies I never saw, but I couldn't figure out why he was being interviewed now for movies that were released several years ago. So to help me out with my confusion, I just did a quick search, and yeah, they're remaking Harry Potter. Again, why? What a pointless exercise. Also, bad on Nick Frost. That has really tainted my view of him. Needless to say, I will not be seeing whatever this is. Also, not watching the 2nd season of Sandman actually hurt. That hurt way more than anything Harry Potter for me. I am consoling myself by watching the 2nd series of Wednesday. I can't really decide if I like Wednesday or not. I like the actors, but sometimes the plot is a bit odd. I hated the love triangle of the 1st series. I agree with people who said that the werewolf subplot is not a great fit as a metaphor, but I did like that character had some room for personal growth. But I think the thing that really sort of makes it weird for me is the naked antagonism Wednesday has with her family. It doesn't feel as off for everyone else, but specifically for her family. It kind of isn't working for me. Also, why are they making Pugsley so goddamn stupid? I'm having a really hard time sympathizing with him or liking him, and I want to like him. I'm trying my best to avoid comparing this version of the Addams family to others, but I am finding it hard to avoid. So I'm finding myself just a bit lukewarm on the show. Okay, tangent over. Back to nail polish. Back to Orly specifically. Orly will not adhere to my nails. I do not know why. I have tried all sorts of base coats, including none at all. I've tried all sorts of top coats, including none at all. But it just pops off my nails in a single sheet. Usually that happens once I touch water. So in the shower, if I do dishes, even if I do them with gloves. It's almost like I'm wearing a peel-off base coat, but I am definitely not wearing a peel-off base coat. So I hold a very serious grudge. For whatever reason, I just feel very grumpy about this. So it has been absolutely the easiest thing in the world for me to avoid buying that Harry Potter collab that came out, and apparently there's a new one, and that one can fuck off as well. So when I see someone in either my comments or the comments of someone else's video say that they can't get a particular nail polish to work for them, I believe them because I've had exactly the same problem. Perhaps there might be differences in the details, but I have definitely had a hard time getting a specific brand to adhere to my nails. I assume there is something about either the specific texture of my nails or my body chemistry that just keeps it from working. Another admission is that I also have problems with Starly for whatever reason. The stain prevention base works wonderfully for me, but their actual nail polishes do something very strange. Within 24 hours of application, my polish gets all these tiny cracks, and it looks like I've created like a spider web design, or that I have purchased the worst version of a crackle polish, and unintentionally so. As you might guess, I have tried different base coats and top coats, wondering if I could improve things, but no luck. So no Starly polishes for me. I again assume it's just something about my body chemistry or nail texture or both, who knows, but I suspect I will never truly know why. So far, those are the only 2 brands that have strange results for me, so I guess I'm not doing too badly. It could definitely be worse. Having had the Orly problem crop up many, many years ago, I was sort of prepared for the idea that this could happen with other polishes. Okay, just a little bit of housekeeping here in terms of upcoming videos. I did actually want to do another Harry Potter video. There were a couple of things I just wanted to talk about that as those who watched the previous video know, isn't really about that. It's actually about something sort of tangentially related, and it is a topic where I do have to do some research because, one, things have changed since I got my degree. There's been a lot of research done since then. But two, I consider it a very important topic, and I do not want to spread misinformation. I want accurate information there, and I don't want to go from memory, and I don't want to make assumptions about the current literature on that subject. That is still in process. We'll see if I ever actually get it out, or if I'll just sort of be stuck in research limbo forever. But also, one of the things I've been doing lately is purchasing a fair number of magnetics. And I would like to be able to show them in velvet, but it seems that, so far, my attempts to get velvet are a little bit ham-fisted, not the greatest. I'm sort of getting there, but I don't quite have a handle on how to get a very good velvet. And I'm still experimenting, but what I think I may do is hold those magnetic polishes back for a later date when I get a hold of a horseshoe magnet. And once I have that magnet, I'm hoping to swatch out these polishes. I guess my other option is to swatch them now without velvet, and then sort of go back as an overview and just sort of have one polish on each nail as velvet, as sort of like a addendum, I guess, to the other videos. That's another option that I'm thinking about implementing. But right now, my instinct is to hold those polishes back. So let me know what you think. Should I just do my best with velvet now and do so with the understanding that later there will be this second video with the horseshoe magnet that sort of has every magnetic in it? Or should I just hold all those polishes back and just do them later when it will have a more comprehensive view of the polish in a single video? I know it can be annoying if you saw something and you're not sure which video it was in, because I know my instinct is to have each video be sort of self-contained and not need a second video to reference. But that's my instinct, and I don't know if that's helpful to others. Okay, I think that's all the housekeeping. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. And that is everything for today. These are some of my embarrassing admissions about my videos. I'd say most of these are personal faults and failings, but also includes some of my petty hatreds. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.